On June 25, 2009, the world was stunned by the sudden death of Michael Jackson. News of his passing spread across the globe within minutes. Fans gathered outside hospitals, lit candles, and struggled to accept the loss of the man known as the King of Pop. Even years later, questions about his final days continued to spark debate. Among the most controversial claims is one that frequently appears in videos, articles, and online discussions. Did Michael Jackson's last audio call expose the person responsible for his death? It's a dramatic claim, but before exploring it, it's important to separate verified facts from speculation. Official investigations concluded that Michael Jackson died from acute propofol intoxication, along with the effects of other sedative medications. His personal physician, Conrad Murray, was later convicted of involuntary manslaughter for administering medical care that contributed to Jackson's death. However, for many fans, that conclusion did not end the story. In the years following his death, recordings of phone calls, voice messages, and private conversations began circulating online. Some of these recordings were authentic. Others were edited, incomplete, or presented without proper context. As a result, theories quickly emerged. One particular audio recording gained enormous attention. In the recording, Michael Jackson sounds tired and unusually slow while speaking. He talks about future plans, helping children, and creating projects that he hoped would change lives. Because his speech appears slurred, many listeners immediately focused on his condition rather than his words. Some believe the recording showed that he was heavily medicated. Others argued it demonstrated how exhausted he had become during preparations for his planned comeback concerts. The audio quickly became one of the most analyzed pieces of evidence connected to his final weeks. Then came a more dramatic interpretation. Some conspiracy theorists claimed that hidden within Jackson's conversations were clues about individuals he feared or distrusted. According to these theories, certain people around him were placing enormous pressure on him because of the money involved in the upcoming misses at concerts. As these theories spread, some content creators began making an even stronger claim that Michael Jackson's final audio recordings somehow identified the person who killed him. But did they? The answer is far less dramatic than many headlines suggest. No verified audio recording has ever been shown to directly identify a murderer or reveal a secret confession. No official investigation concluded that a hidden individual was exposed through a phone call. No court accepted such evidence. What the recordings do reveal is something different. They provide a glimpse into Michael Jackson's physical and emotional condition during the final period of his life. People who listen to the recordings often notice signs of exhaustion. His voice sometimes sounded weak. His speech occasionally appeared slowed. Many observers felt that he did not sound like the energetic performer they were accustomed to seeing on stage. For supporters of conspiracy theories, this became evidence that something was seriously wrong behind the scenes. Some argued that Jackson was being over-medicated. Others believed he was surrounded by people who prioritized business interests over his health. A few theories even suggested that powerful individuals wanted to control his career, finances, or future projects. Yet despite years of speculation, investigators found no evidence that an unknown mastermind secretly arranged his death. The official findings pointed instead toward dangerous medical practices involving powerful drugs. Still, the reason these audio recordings remain so fascinating is because they seem deeply personal. Unlike interviews or public appearances, phone calls often capture people in unguarded moments. There is no stage, no audience, no performance, just a conversation. That makes listeners feel as though they are hearing the real person behind the celebrity image. When people hear Michael Jackson sounding exhausted or vulnerable, it creates an emotional reaction. Many fans begin asking difficult questions. How much pressure was he under? Was anyone paying attention to his health? Could the tragedy have been prevented? Those questions are understandable, and in some ways, they may be more important than the conspiracy theories themselves. Because regardless of whether someone believes hidden plots existed, there is little doubt that Michael Jackson was facing extraordinary pressure in 2009. The comeback concerts were expected to generate huge amounts of money. Millions of fans were waiting. Media attention was intense. Expectations were enormous. Failure was not considered an option. Preparing for such a massive event would be challenging for any performer. For someone already dealing with sleep problems and health concerns, the pressure could become overwhelming. This context helps explain why the audio recordings continue to attract attention. People are not just listening for clues about a crime. They are listening for clues about Michael Jackson's state of mind. They want to understand what he was experiencing during the final chapter of his life. Some listeners hear fear. Others hear exhaustion. Some hear determination. Others hear a man struggling to keep up with impossible expectations. Interpretations differ because human emotions are complex. What sounds alarming to one person may sound ordinary to another. That is why audio recordings alone rarely provide definitive answers. Without context, it is easy for people to hear what they expect to hear. Over time, this tendency has helped many myths grow. A recording that originally reflected fatigue becomes evidence of poisoning. A comment about business stress becomes proof of a conspiracy. A vague concern becomes a prediction of murder. As stories are repeated online, they often become more dramatic than the original facts. This is one reason why so many headlines claim that Michael Jackson exposed the person who killed him. The phrase creates suspense. It attracts attention. But when investigators examined the evidence, they did not discover an audio recording that identified a secret killer. Instead, they found a tragedy involving dangerous medical treatment and poor decisions surrounding powerful medications. That conclusion may not be as mysterious as some theories, but it is supported by the evidence presented in court. Even so, the fascination with Michael Jackson's final recordings is unlikely to disappear. The recordings represent one of the last opportunities to hear his voice. For fans, that alone makes them significant. Every pause, every sentence, every emotion. People listen carefully because they know those moments cannot be recreated. And perhaps that is the real reason these recordings continue to generate so much interest. Not because they expose a hidden killer, not because they contain secret messages, but because they capture a legendary performer during the final days of an extraordinary life. The mystery surrounding Michael Jackson's death may never completely disappear. New theories continue to emerge, and old questions continue to resurface. Yet after years of investigations, legal proceedings, documentaries, and public debate, no verified audio call has been proven to identify a person who secretly murdered him. What the recordings do reveal is something arguably more powerful, a rare and emotional glimpse into the life of one of the world's most famous entertainers shortly before his death. And for many people, that reality remains just as haunting as any conspiracy theory.